suddenly Caleb and I are just mad, upset, still can't get over that Tennessee loss, and ripping South Carolina because they don't have adequate facilities. So it's neat that on YouTube, and I love the format. And please hit that thumbs up button, like, and subscribe if you haven't already. But I do love the fact that you can get some pretty immediate reactions. So, Caleb, apparently, I'm a big homer, and you are still salty over the South Carolina loss, which is really funny to me because the reason I love working with Caleb is he's about as straight down the middle as there are. And I think if anybody Googled me, they'd find out that there are probably more Vols that hate me than like me. So it's really, maybe other programs do that have a W and an L and talk, but there may be other shows that do that, but that's not here. And we've made people mad during football season. We've told them that we didn't think such and such was going to happen. I sure as heck didn't pick Tennessee to beat Alabama. Yeah, Caleb, you are officially still hurt over the South Carolina loss if you want to go by YouTube posters.
Well, I am guilty as charged. I would like to issue a public apology to all South Carolina fans. I am just so upset, and I want you guys to not take it. Oh, shut up, South Carolina fans. Are you kidding? I just got to bring this up for a minute. I just pulled this up on YouTube since they're accusing us of being homers. Dave, you and I are in this. We like what we do. We like what we talk about it. We're objective. We're trying to grow an audience. One of our biggest hits last year, our biggest one that was monetized on YouTube, I just pulled it up on YouTube, was the Jeremy Banks-Hendon Hooker drama that came as a result of the South Carolina loss. So our site, what we're doing, benefited from Tennessee losing to South Carolina more than anything. And we're not, yeah.
And I was called an idiot repeatedly on that post. So the thing I love about working with Caleb is it's straight down the middle. Now, if somebody from Ohio or Michigan asks me, are you such and such a fan? I always say an SEC fan, and I am. I realize that there are times in bowl games or college football playoffs where it might benefit Tennessee if Georgia lost. I mean, you could make that argument. But yeah, I'm a rah SEC guy. I am. And the reason is because I think it is absolutely the best. I mean, it's not because I was born in the South. And if you look at history, it's not really hard to figure that out, Caleb. The SEC has been the best.
See, the funny thing is, I agree. The SEC's by far, if you look at the NFL talent, recent national champions, everything, the SEC is so clearly the dominant conference. I'm not a rah-rah SEC guy on that front, and I want people to understand this, particularly if some Big Ten fans are listening. ESPN is not a rah-rah SEC network either. The national networks are not all biased to the SEC to put these teams in. It's not good for them. And it's not good for the sport to be incessantly regional. You don't think they'd prefer a Washington play for the national title? You don't think they prefer a Syracuse in the Northeast? You don't think they would love for the New York market to have a good college football team? Of course they would. They're not sitting here trying to rig things in favor of just the Southern market. They wouldn't try to rig it in favor of the Big Ten market or any specific market. That's not good for the sport. That's not good for the networks. They want it to be more national. The SEC is not dominating because networks and voters are just biased to that league. We're not biased to Tennessee. It doesn't help us to be biased to Tennessee. It doesn't help networks to be biased to the SEC. That doesn't happen, guys. You're seeing things through your color glasses if you think that. The color of your school or your conference. We're not seeing it through the color of our school or our conference.
I guess it started, too, way back with Oklahoma when we talked about the possibility that Josh Heupel could ever go back there. And I guess that was in August. We got a bunch of Oklahoma responses. So that's where we are. I just found the comments, and if you haven't had a chance to peruse them for funsies, we do so because it's interesting, especially if guys like Travis and Smoky Mountain Red and the regular listeners, especially if, given that you know us, it's just kind of like, hey, you guys are just a bunch of homer losers.